Hey, it's Carly Burr, and welcome back to Taking Life Offline. Happy New Year! It's 2024, and I could not be more excited. The New Year is my favorite holiday. This is my absolute favorite time of year. There's just this energy that comes with the New Year, and this feeling of starting fresh and with like a clean slate going into the new year. It just feels so good to me, and it always brings me so much energy and so much joy. So maybe you're like me and you enjoy the new year, maybe you aren't, but regardless, Happy New Year, because I'm so excited to be here, excited to start this. This is my first year. 2024 will be my first full year of podcasting, because I'm going to make it all the way to the end. So I'm excited and looking forward to that. And I want to thank you for being here and going on this journey with me. I appreciate you so very much. And starting out today with this first episode of the new year, it's going to sound a little bit different because as I was thinking about this episode and what I wanted to talk about and the structure that it was going to be, I had this one line come to me, this one poetic line that talked about this topic. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to write that down and I'll share that at the beginning of that episode. That will be kind of fun and kind of different. So I wrote that down, revisited it a few days later when I went to actually think about and brainstorm this whole episode. And as I sat down and I went over that first line that I had written down a few days previous, all of a sudden, all these other rhymes kept coming to me that went along with this one sentence that it started with. So I have a little teeny poem that's going to kick off this episode today. So I hope that you enjoy it. And it was actually really fun for me to write, and it came very naturally. And then I had this memory of me in the third grade sitting there in class writing my haikus, writing the poems that we were learning in class and just loving it. I always loved English, and poems, I just remembered, was something that I had so much fun creating and writing as a kid. So it's fun to discover this about myself all these years later as I had that just randomly pop into my head. So I'm excited to share this poem with you today, and I hope that you enjoy it. If walls could talk, and of course they can't, but what would they say if they had the chance? When you think about people you follow online, you're making assumptions most of the time. And you might sit there thinking, oh, what I would give to just have a glimpse into the real life that they lived. But stop it at that, because those thoughts, they don't serve you. Instead, turn them around and remember, you're here too. You also have walls, yes, lively and well. So consider the stories your walls would tell. In a world where people curate their lives to appear a certain way online, what if their walls could talk? When the cameras were off, when the phones were down, what if the walls of their home could tell us what was actually going on? Would it be accurate to what was being shared? I'm not too sure. But today, too many people take what they see online and they deem it as true. They deem it as the standard for living a life that's beautiful, a life that's fulfilling, a life that's successful, a life that's you fill in the blank. But in reality, what's going on the camera, what's being shared on the screen, is merely a nano glimpse into someone's actual life. And to be completely honest, their life is none of our business. If their walls could talk, sure, maybe they tell us a different story most of the time, but we're not here to discuss or to wonder about their walls. We're here to get to know yours. Those are the ones that truly matter. What if your walls could talk? What would they say about you? Would they see you wasting away on your screens, not giving the time to your God-given talents? Would they see you ignoring the very ones who matter most, or even ignoring yourself? If your walls could talk, they might shout out and say, I can't bear to sit and watch you waste another day. They'd see you, so full of potential, the pieces of you that don't get much attention. They'd see the small things that you do when no one's looking that actually make a really big difference. They'd see the struggles, the triumphs, and everything in between. If you took their view and were looking at you, you'd gain new perspective. You'd see things a lot differently. This isn't to cast judgment on yourself or to make you feel guilty. It's just to bring awareness to where we can improve, where we can tweak, where we can redirect our attention, redirect our presence. Who you are behind closed doors matters way more than who people see online. But I'd be willing to bet, although so sad but true, you may know the Joneses better than you know you. The attention to detail you give folks online would be much better spent on yours, not theirs, not mine. If walls could talk, they'd tell us the real stories. But obviously they can't, so what's the point in trying to make up assumptions and create stories in our minds about who this person might or might not be based off of what we see or don't see online? There's no point to that. Leave their stories to their walls, and let's worry about our own. As we turn to our walls for their wisdom, their view, we'll soon discover there's much for us to do. So put down the screens and look in and not out, and soon you'll discover what life's all about. My action step for us to dive into today is to take the perspective of our walls. Let's see where we can improve, where we can better spend our time. Instead of worrying so much about people online, what people online are up to, where can we focus our time in our own personal, real lives instead? It's time to get active in the details of your life, in the writings on your walls. I know in doing so, you'll actually start to feel as good as people might think you look online. So my friend, it is time to get up and get going. I cannot wait for this new year and what it's going to bring with having an emphasis in this area in your life. I can't wait to see what it does for you and how you come out on the other side. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for going on this journey of taking life offline. If you enjoyed today's episode or you thought that the poem was kind of a fun, new thing to throw into the podcast, let me know. Let me know in the comments or leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. It would mean the world to me if you would leave your honest opinion. Thanks again for being here, and I will catch you next Monday.